The Golden State Warriors just fooled the NBA. As you all know, the Warriors made some big moves acquiring Chris Paul, and while the rest of the NBA think Warriors are done making moves, the Golden State Warriors are actually making more moves this offseason. In today's video, we're going to be going through 5 key offseason moves that the Golden State Warriors are making right now that will help them win another NBA championship next season. So make sure to like this video, and guys, 92% of you are still not subscribed to the channel, so it'd mean the world if you could subscribe to the channel, hit that red button down below. The first is the Golden State Warriors signing Corey Joseph. Now, as you all know, this may be a really underrated signing, but I think Corey Joseph is going to be fantastic for this Golden State Warriors team. As you all know, he's played with some great teams such as Toronto, Indiana, also Spurs, and now Detroit, and now he is coming over to Golden State Warriors to really provide a lot and be also that shooting guard and point guard for that reserve. Now, I do believe he is going to be doing a fantastic job because last season he averaged 6.9 points, also had 1.7 rebounds, and also 3.5 assists, and he did a fantastic job playing 62 games as well, and did this with only 15 minutes of playing time. So I do believe Corey Joseph is a very efficient player, 6'3", 200 pounds, and is still 31 years of age, so he's definitely in those peak years of playing basketball. On top of that, he has a great 3-point percentage of 39%, which I think is going to be super important, especially for a team like the Golden State Warriors that pretty much live on the 3. And on top of that, he also has an effective field goal percentage of 52%. So Corey Joseph does do a lot of great things out there on the floor. I think his offense and defense are definitely really well matched, and I do believe he can provide a lot for this team, even if he's only going to be playing 10 to 12 minutes per game. I think when Chris Paul is out there on the floor, he can run that 2 guard if needed, and also can run the point guard if they decide to switch things up. What I love the most about Joseph's game is definitely his efficiency out there, but he also fits the play style that the Golden State Warriors need. They need someone who can be a team player, but can also hit the 3 ball when needed and play some great defense on top of that, and Corey Joseph is definitely that guy. I think also it's great to see that he is in his peak years of 31 years of age, so he definitely has a lot of experience in the NBA, which I think is definitely needed, especially for the Golden State Warriors roster. As you all know, when it came to Golden State Warriors in the last season, they did a fantastic job, but I do believe that the second unit was a little bit too young, and there wasn't enough players who had that great experience. Now adding Chris Paul to the mix and now Corey Joseph, it definitely makes it a lot more better when it comes to experience wise, and I think they have the right pieces in order to get it done, especially in the playoffs. He was coached by a great coach in Popovich, playing for the San Antonio Spurs, and as you all know, Steve Kerr was actually taught how to coach from Popovich as well, so I think he will fit well when it comes to his play style and what he's able to bring to the Warriors team. The second is the Golden State Warriors are in serious talks in acquiring Jarrett Allen. Now, as you all know, Jarrett Allen has actually been put on the trading block, as Cleveland have made it known that they are open to trading Jarrett Allen if the right offer is there, and the Warriors have actually reached out in order to see if they can come to a deal. Now, I think Jarrett Allen would be a perfect fit for the Warriors, but I do believe that the Warriors would need to give up something pretty huge in order to get Jarrett Allen. As you all know, he is 6'11" at 25 years old and weighs 243 pounds, and he did a fantastic job for the Cleveland Cavaliers and helped them get into the playoffs, where he averaged 14.3 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 1.7 assists, while also averaging 0.8 steals and 1.2 blocks. So he did a fantastic job, and I do believe when it comes to Jarrett Allen, he is an effective field goal percentage of 65%, which is great, but his inside scoring is definitely going to be a huge asset if the Warriors are able to get someone of his caliber. I think also his rebounding ability definitely will help this Warriors team, and the fact that he is still very young at 25 years of age, he definitely has a lot of years left in the NBA and could be a key component to the Warriors, especially the core when, you know, the big 3 leave of Steph, Clay, or even Draymond Green. Now, I think Allen has done a fantastic job, but I think Warriors are really missing a big rebounder. As you all know, the Warriors last season actually ranked 15th when it came to rebounds allowed, so they were allowing quite a lot of rebounds, especially against bigger teams. We definitely saw that in the playoff run where they faced off against the Los Angeles Lakers in the last playoff series, and one of the main reasons why I do believe that they got knocked out was due to the fact that Anthony Davis, LeBron James, all these big players were just too much for the Warriors to handle. As you all know, the Warriors were a team that only had the tallest player being 6'9" or below, and because of that, they definitely need a lot more size, especially against bigger teams such as the Lakers, to name a few. Now, Jarrett Allen's inside scoring can definitely be a huge asset for the Warriors. As you all know, the Warriors have great bigs in, Draymond Green and also Kevon Looney. However, what I do agree with is that both of these, Draymond Green and Kevon Looney, aren't really great scorers. Looney averaged 7 points last season, and also Draymond Green only averaged 8 points. They need someone that can definitely give you 10, 15, maybe even 20 points in a game, especially when it comes from the inside, as if a lot of the focus is going to be on Steph Curry, he is going to continue to focus on the outside, and you need someone that can switch things up. Like I mentioned, Jarrett Allen has actually averaged 10 points or above in all of his seasons besides his rookie season, where he was only averaging 16 minutes of game time. But now that he is in the Cleveland Cavaliers, is the starting center for them, he was able to average 14.3 points, and he also had some big games where he was able to drop 20-25 points in a matchup. Now when it comes to the Warriors, in order to get someone of Jarrett Allen's caliber, you would have to give up quite a couple of big names and maybe even a couple of draft picks. Now Mike Dunleavy has said he is going to continue to make moves in this offseason, so this could be a move in the books due to the fact that they have already been in talks of seeing if Jarrett Allen can come to the Warriors and if they have a perfect trade for him. So it will be interesting to see how over the next couple of days whether this actually plays out, but I do believe if Jarrett Allen does come to the Warriors, it is a huge boost, and I definitely can see them winning a ring. The third is that the Golden State Warriors are not re-signing Klay Thompson to a contract extension due to the fact that they may look to get a superstar next season. Now I think this is something that is a little bit sad. Obviously Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green have played together throughout their entire career, but the Golden State Warriors have made it known that they aren't looking to actually re-sign Klay Thompson to a contract extension, and they may test out free agency next season. And because of this, there are actually some big names next season that Golden State Warriors can actually get for the price of Klay Thompson. To name a few, one of them is actually Jaylen Brown. Now Jaylen Brown, as you all know, has already been in trade talks about going to the Golden State Warriors, as he is very interested in joining the team. And I think this is something that would honestly be huge. Jaylen Brown is a fantastic player, and I do believe with his young style of play, it can definitely provide a lot for this Golden State Warriors team in the upcoming seasons. From that, he averaged 26 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 3.5 assists in the most recent season, and he was shooting a 3-point percentage of 34% and an effective field goal percentage of 55% as well. I think what makes this a perfect fit for Jaylen Brown coming to the Warriors is first that Brown does want to come to the Warriors and be in a championship team, and secondly, he's still a very young player at 26 years old. He's 6'6", 223 pounds, but being that young, he will be able to be in the next core of players when Steph, Klay, and Draymond eventually retire, or in this case, just Steph and Draymond. But I do believe Klay Thompson may not be receiving a contract extension, and we may see the Warriors get another superstar in the next offseason. Some other names that are mentioned when it comes to free agency talk is definitely Pascal Siakam, DeJounte Murray, and Buddy Hield, who all actually have their contract ending next season, so they will be a free agency in the next offseason. The fourth is the Golden State Warriors signing Dario Saric. Now this isn't confirmed just as of yet, but it has been mentioned that the Golden State Warriors are actually waiting for Damian Lillard and also James Harden to pick their respective teams when it comes to their signing and trading, and once that is complete, then they'll make a move on Dario Saric. Now I don't really know how it all works in the NBA world, but supposedly they need to wait for that to happen in order to sign Saric properly, and I do believe when it comes to Saric, he can be a fantastic player for the Golden State Warriors. Now he stands at 6'10", 225 pounds, and is only 29 years of age. Now his most recent team that he actually did play for was Oklahoma City Thunder. You may not have realized that because he was only getting 13 minutes per game. However, he was still able to average 7.4 points, also grab 3.3 rebounds, and also 0.9 assists. So he did a fantastic job. He had a 3-point percentage of 40%, which is fantastic, and an effective field goal percentage of 61%. So guys, Dario Saric, in the 13 minutes he was averaging, he was able to put up some monster numbers. The thing that really does surprise me is he was able to average 7.4 points in 13 minutes, guys. That is honestly insane. Like I mentioned before, the Golden State Warriors don't have too many scoring bigs, and they do have Kevon Looney. He was averaging 24 minutes per game, and he was only averaging 7 points as well. So 10 minutes more than Dario Saric, and Saric was able to get it done. And that's why I think they do want Saric in this Golden State Warriors team. Saric is a great scorer, and I think that is something that he can definitely provide to this team. Yes, he may not be the most insane defender or anything of that nature, but I think the Golden State Warriors already have enough of that in Jonathan Kuminga, Kevon Looney, and the players, the list really does go on and on. So when it comes to Saric, he'll be able to provide a lot for this team, especially in the scoring department. I think that's going to be his main job if he does end up signing with the Warriors. And like I mentioned before, he's still only 29 years of age, so he's definitely still in those peak years and still very, very young. So I think he has a lot of years left, and the fact that Warriors are looking to get someone of his caliber who also has great experience playing 6 years in the league, I think is honestly really good to see. Now, I do believe Saric as well. In order to get him, the Golden State Warriors would only need to sign him to kind of a minimum, which is honestly great because it does open up a lot more cap space for them to get more minimum players that can complement the Warriors roster. The fifth is that the Golden State Warriors believe that Chris Paul is going to unlock the young players in Jonathan Kuminga and also Moses Moody. And I think this is something that came to a surprise, but Draymond Green in the most recent podcast say why he loved the move of Chris Paul coming to his team in the Golden State Warriors, and how Chris Paul is going to be the reason why Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are going to have their breakout seasons. Now, as you all know, Chris Paul last season averaged 13.9 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 8.9 assists. But what I think not many people know about Chris Paul is that he's able to have a huge impact and have a huge influence on certain players, especially when it comes to great players. Now, we've seen this happen time and time again. When James Harden, when they added Chris Paul, they were able to get to the conference finals, and after Chris Paul got injured, that's when it started to go downhill. We've also seen the same with Devin Booker, where Chris Paul was able to unlock Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns and get to the NBA finals. So he's able to do that to a lot of teams, and I think Chris Paul coming off the bench can definitely help players like Kuminga and Moses Moody, who are still on their way to being at the top. Kuminga averaged 9.9 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1.9 assists this season, and also Moses Moody averaged 4.8 points, 1.7 rebounds, and 0.8 assists. But now that they have Chris Paul by their side in that second unit, Draymond Green especially definitely believes that Chris Paul is going to unlock the full potential that Moses Moody and also Jonathan Kuminga have. And I think it's going to be exciting to see these three together, especially for that second unit.